Seems like Lukashenko is leaving. Hello, welcome to Dangerous Policy, a channel aimed at intelligent people wanting to discuss important issues facing life and society. My name is Crispin, and this is a really interesting development. The Belarusian president, Alexander Lukashenko, appears as though he is willing to leave office. He has said that he will not be in office when a new constitution is decided. And this seems to have been supported by Russia's foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, who reminded Lukashenko that he had to abide by commitments that he made on the 14th of September, in which a $1.5 billion loan to Belarus was secured, but also with strings attached that seemed to show that Lukashenko would ultimately transition from power in favor of the opposition and Ms. Svetlana Tikhanovskaya. I'm sure I've mispronounced that. But basically, there'll be a new constitution, a modernization of the Belarusian governance, and a new president in office acceptable to the Kremlin. Now, that last bit is also very important. What we are not going to see in Belarus is a pro-NATO government that wants to be part of the EU and sign up with like the Baltic states as part of that new bloc against the Russian Federation. Belarus is not in that category. Most Belarusians are pro-Russia. They don't have this massive ethnic split with different language groups and so on. Most of them see themselves as Slavic and connected to their Russian brethren in a cultural linguistic sense. So whoever is leading Belarus will likely be pro-Russia, but they will also have systems of governance in place that allow for elections, transfer of power, transition of leadership, and the modernization and transformation of the Belarusian state. And I think that's a very important and probably the best possible outcome, because any move to make Belarus like a pro-Western bulwark against Russian Federation is going to be viciously opposed by Russia, including through military force. And the only possible thing that could come from that is like another Ukraine, right? The Belarusians will not want that. They will not benefit from that. And whatever political aspirations you would have for the Belarusian people, it has to be tied to what the Belarusians actually are, which is often pro-Russian. So I don't think we will see anything like a Lithuania or a Latvia as the new Belarusian government. What we will see is a degree of self-determination, a degree of democracy, a modernization of institutions. And I do think Lukashenko will leave office, and hopefully peaceably and in a way that moves him probably permanently to Russia to retire, right? So that there won't be any kind of attack against Lukashenko. I think it would be very counterproductive for a new government to sort of indict Lukashenko and charge him with corruption and all of that. I think we need to have a proper deal that sees him leave and a new government take hold. The Belarusian people have done this extraordinarily well, and I want to just sort of my hats off to them. They have sustained the pressure, but they haven't disintegrated into anarchy. The protests have been rigorous, they've been ongoing, and demonstrating the illegitimacy of Lukashenko's re-election as it was back in August. And so for many months, the opposition has put things together. They've had a government in exile, and thanks again to the Lithuanian government to maintain that connection. So there are people in place. And then you've got the Nobel Prize winning author, great literary writer, Svetlana Alexeyevich, whose tremendous moral authority, including in Russia, would have been a massive positive impact on this. I think Svetlana Alexeyevich's ability to speak to the Russian soul, to ask the Russian intelligentsia to partner with the opposition in Belarus, to have a dialogue to see Lukashenko leave office, I think has been successful. I think her personal brand has had a strong impact because what the Russians themselves have acknowledged, I think, is that Lukashenko, his permanent fixture as part of the Belarusian leadership, as it's been since 1994, if they keep him in office, what you're going to do is create a pressure cooker. And then that pressure cooker is going to eventually explode, and that will blow up in the Russian Kremlin's face, right? Because what will happen is you'll have a militant opposition. They will ultimately take power, and they will get support from wherever they can, which will be NATO, it'll be from the United States, it'll be from the EU, and that would make Belarus unstable and anti-Russia. So the best thing from the Russian point of view, and I think Svetlana Alexeyevich has made this message very well, is that for Lukashenko to have a deal where he leaves office and doesn't feel like anyone's going to come after him after he leaves, that his supporters aren't attacked or anything, they just become part of the new Belarusian state, and that a new constitution is agreed that is acceptable to the Kremlin, that allows opposition figures to come in a more democratic way and be elected through appropriate judicial processes. So that is a very positive step. And this will be sort of a short video because it's just sort of an update on this, but it sounds like Lukashenko is potentially leaving, and that is a really good news indeed. I think we'll just leave it there. And if you have comments on this, if you have friends in Belarus, if you know what's going on over there, please leave your comments down below, and I will be happy to just pick them up in the next video. All right, thank you.